15 Things You Should Never Do in Spain. Spain is one of the world's top tourist destinations and is used to welcoming millions of visitors from around the world every year. However, although the country is expert at tourism, there are some key cultural differences that are worth remembering before you go. Here are 15 things that tourists should never do in Spain. Number 1. Never expect shops to open in the middle of the day. Many small businesses in Spain open in the morning, close for a couple of hours over lunchtime and reopen in the afternoon. Times vary, but in general, small businesses tend to close between around 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Check opening hours online or, to be safe, plan to visit in the morning or evening to avoid turning up when the shutters are down. Number 2. Never forget to try some Spanish phrases. Spaniards really appreciate it when tourists try out some Spanish, and they are usually very kind and patient with learners. It's also worth learning some key phrases, especially those that have to do with eating and drinking, so you can explore some off the tourist trail places with confidence. Number 3. Don't wear beachwear off the beach. Spaniards are a smart bunch and would not be seen walking around the city in flip-flops or a bikini top, so leave them for the beach. There have been cases of tourists in Barcelona being told to cover up, so avoid that ultimate embarrassment and make sure you throw on a shirt when walking around the city. Number 4. Don't expect to eat dinner before 8:30 p.m. Many restaurants in Spain don't open their doors until 8:30 p.m., so this is really the absolute earliest you should be planning to eat dinner, if you want to blend in with the locals. Eating after 9 p.m. will mean places are busier, with a lot more atmosphere. Number 5. Don't flash your belongings. Pickpockets try to scam tourists in Spain, just like anywhere else, and they look out for ones who make silly mistakes, like fumbling with a map or walking around with a half-open bag. Make sure you consult maps in bars or restaurants before you leave them, when possible, and keep your belongings secure in a zipped bag, worn towards the body. Number 6. Don't expect a big breakfast. Spaniards have a light breakfast, usually just a coffee and a piece of toasted bread with tomato and olive oil, or a croissant. Don't expect a full English breakfast or pancakes, unless you go to a place that specializes in international fare. Number 7. Don't dress out of season. Spaniards are suckers for seasonal rules when it comes to clothing, so even if it still feels pretty warm in October, you won't find many Spaniards wearing shorts. Similarly, Spaniards get properly wrapped up in winter, so don't go out in short sleeves if you want to blend in. Number 8. Don't overtip. Waiters in Spain earn a living wage, so do not rely on tips. Tipping is just not a big thing here. People might leave a few coins of loose change, but there is no pressure to leave anything at all. Number 9. Don't be offended. Spaniards can be rather blunt and direct compared to their Northern European cousins, so don't be offended by probing questions or comments. Spanish as a language is also very direct and doesn't feature all of the pleasantries of a language like French or English. If someone says "pass me that" without saying please, they're not being impolite, they're just being typically Spanish. Number 10. Don't pass the salt shaker from hand to hand. The people of Spain are a superstitious lot, and they take their omens and traditions seriously. They believe that passing the salt shaker from hand to hand would bring in bad luck. It might seem silly to you, but when you are a guest, you need to respect the culture and tradition of your host. Number 11. Don't make any important plans on Tuesdays. Spaniards consider Tuesday to be a very unlucky day and highly inappropriate to begin to do something on that day, lest the bad luck seeps into the activity you are performing. So, as a tourist, do not plan any sightseeing or outing or any activity whatsoever on a Tuesday in Spain, for the locals will not be cooperative. Number 12. Don't get involved in discussions about regionalism. Another rule of thumb when having dinner or sharing a meal with a local is to avoid discussions on politics. When traveling to Spain, a particular topic of controversy many people tend to pick on is regionalism, which is highly frowned upon by locals when it's the topic of discussion in a gathering or a meal. Number 13, don't expect to see flamenco everywhere. If you're traveling to Andalusia in Spain, seeing a flamenco show is a must, as it is a traditional Spanish dance that the city takes pride in birthing onto the world. However, despite its strong influence in many cultural landmarks in the country, flamenco isn't commonly seen in other parts of the country, so manage your expectations and itineraries wisely. Authentic flamenco dance is truly a sight to see, and it is best to plan ahead of your trip to Spain to know where to see the most authentic ones available to attend. Number 14, never head out without cash. Although most establishments, like hotels and restaurants, do accept credit and debit cards, you will still need to have cash in hand during your vacation in Spain. You will need to have cash when you ride in taxis, shop in the flea markets and in some small shopping centers that do not accept credit and debit cards. Number 15, never underestimate the different climates of Spain. For travelers who are not familiar with Spain's varying weather, it would be best to check the general climate of the city or cities you are planning to visit. Regardless of your plans and itineraries, it is a great idea to create an outline of your activities before traveling to Spain. May it be summer, fall, winter or spring, each major city's climate varies substantially. Plan your wardrobe accordingly based on your itinerary and target locations.